Hello everyone once again and welcome back to PAX and Recreation. And today, as you can see, we are with the Time Mage because we are going back in time with Doctor Who, and the difference between the first time I did this and now, my friends, is that now I am a Doctor Who fan. And because of that, now I can actually comment on stuff properly, at least some of it. I haven't watched all of Doctor Who to date, but I am very happy. And, you know, this is a Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond success story. I never cared about Doctor Who. I always thought it was like, oh, well, it looks weird. Like, you know, I don't care that much about that. And because of the commander decks, and maybe I'm like, oh, okay, let's go, let's see these decks, etc. Just looking at the cards and the characters and all that, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then I started to watch Doctor Who, and I actually kind of liked it. And I started to get more and more into Doctor Who. And now, I consider myself a fan. I am not up to date yet, so as of this recording, I have only seen... I'm at the beginning of the 12th Doctor, so I am not going to understand everything, but everything that is in the back, I will, and that's very good. Now, that also comes with a problem, you see. Like, now I recognize the first Doctor, God bless you, but I remember when I was reviewing these decks, so one of my friends was actually a Doctor Who fan, told me like, you're spoiling yourself. And I was like, nah, I'm not. I don't recognize anything. So I am protected, right? And after that, I actually started to play with my favorite deck is Timey-Wimey, right? So I play with Timey-Wimey a lot. The legend, the absolute legend. And now I recognize a bunch of stuff that was happening there, to the point that since I already had context on stuff, I was kind of being spoiled in the sense that I was like, oh, okay, so this character, and I was waiting for that character to appear. And whenever they say like, oh, well, that character is doing, for example, Rory Williams, now I understand this 100%. I was like, oh, why there is like a guy that is a Roman, and now I'm like, absolute badass Rory. He went from, you know, no one gave a single rat ass for this guy, to this guy being the last centurion, the boy who wait, like, Doctor Who, man, come on, great. Fracture identity. Like, that's the problem, like, some of the stuff, right, I was like, I don't know, like, for example, this card, and now I look at this, I'm like, oh yeah, bad wolf and all that, man. Like, you know, now I am spoilable by some of these cards, and that's kind of weird. I was supposed... Oh, Sergeant Smith. I was supposed to... I remember the first time I saw this, like, I can put a link somewhere, right? Like, the first time I did this, I was like, hey guys, sorry, I don't know anything about Doctor Who, don't hit me. And some people actually offered some guidance, like, you need to start watching this Doctor, and, you know, that stuff, and so on. And I was like, okay, thank you. And thanks to this, and you know, to that people feedback, I am like, yes. So like the 11th hour, I used this card a bunch of times, and now I am like, man, I get it 100%. I completely get it. And that makes the deck even more flavorful in the sense that, see, like this one as well, man, come on. Like, the first time I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, I don't, you know, whatever. 4 Nox, man. Like, and now the River Song's Diary, and now I'm like, oh man, that, right? Everything just Perry Brown, everything just clicks, and some stuff clicks ahead of time, which is dangerous. Hunted by the Family, oh man, this two-parter was amazing. Drawn Catacomb, Into the Time Vortex, Cascade Rebound. Not much to say here. Look at that effect. Amazing. Temple of Plenty. And then there is that, like, some of these cards are just like, this deck, I think this collection is the one that has this set is the one that has the most weird lands, And now that you look at them, you're like, oh, this is from this episode, that episode. Like, look at, oh, see, Madame Bastra. First time I saw this, I was like, whatever. And now I'm like, man, Madame Bastra, let's go. The Master formed anew. Oh man, this is so cool. Now I get the Doctor Who geeks when they were looking at these cards and we're like, oh man, this is amazing. I was like, I'm happy for them, but it doesn't resonate to me. Like, for example, this alien thing, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. I wonder when it's going to appear. And now, adipose offspring, I get it. Ironically, this didn't happen with Warhammer in the sense that Warhammer, like, I don't disrespect Warhammer. I like Warhammer, but it didn't click on me the same way. Like, for example, now I see the 11th, I'm like, I am talking. It's like, great moments. Solemn Simulacrum with the... it just clicks. It just hits different, man. It just hits different. The Night of the Doctor, there you go. Atraxi Warden. Man, the Atraxi Warden. I remember seeing this card and being like, Atraxi? More like Atraxa, haha. And now I get it. Everything makes sense. You're likely are thinking like, well, duh. I mean, obviously they make sense. They're not going to invent things. It's like, yeah, but, you know, the selection is, you can tell it was made by people that really enjoy the show. Because some of the other Universes Beyond stuff, even though I'm, for example, Lord of the Rings, I'm a fan of Lord of the Rings. And it feels the love in some of the mechanics and stuff like that. But because of some choices, oh, the Flash Duplicate, I get this one. Because of some choices with the card designs and stuff like that, it feels meh in a lot of places. Obviously, it's a bigger set than this one, but this one just feels like it just clicks everywhere, right? I think that it actually works negatively to it. The Master Multiplied, man, look, this is amazing. This episode is great. Like, it actually works against it, the fact that it's 4 commander decks. And now I am understanding it. Since there are 4 commander decks, the problem is actually that they try to make the decks thematically consistent, and that's a problem because the color wheel of Magic doesn't always fit with the characters that they are. Oh, the 10th Doctor, there you go, best commander. Like, it doesn't necessarily fit. You know what I mean? With some of the characters, but they need to be those colors because otherwise they can't be played in that deck, right? And that's like, well, that kind of sucks. Like, you know, like some cards are obviously black, but they can be black because in the Doctor decks there is no black, right? So there is a lot of that. You know what I mean? And you know, I appreciate that they went for They went for the thematically consistent stuff so that you can play with the decks, because a lot of people, this product is a double-edged sword, right? It brought me, it brought me to Doctor Who, being a Magic the Gathering fan, but for a lot of Doctor Who players, the idea is for them to come to Magic the Gathering because they're going to look at these cards and go like, oh my god, it's cool, and I can tell you they are very well designed, my friend. So, you know, the 4th Doctor, there you go. Like, overall, I remember the first time I was looking at I couldn't recognize this girl, and now I know who this girl is. Like, man, come on. And the first time I was looking at this, I was like, is the Doctor always the same person? Because they seem to have different personalities. And to be honest, even to this day, I am not 100% sure about the whole regeneration thing. Like, the personality changes. The 6th Doctor, which happens, so that you know what level of Doctor Who fan we're talking about. The actor playing the 6th Doctor is the dad of the actress that played the 10th Doctor daughter that was made from picking his hand, and that actress is married to the 10th Doctor actor, right, to David Tennant. So everything is in the family, boys. That's how much of a fan I am now. Like, I know all the trivia, man, up to the episode that I am. Like, I try to not spoil myself too much. The 8th Doctor, these are kind of matches because a lot of people don't even count the 8-1 because of the nature of how it appeared and how it disappeared, and it was a very unlucky time for Doctor Who. Again, I'm not proclaiming to be like the best Doctor Who fan ever. I'm just saying that now I'm a fan. I know some stuff. So no longer afraid of the dark, boys. Oh, the 10th Doctor foil white art. Let's go. This is going to go to the commander deck, the new one that I'm building around the 10th Doctor. Smoldering Marsh. The 2nd Doctor. Oh man, the way that they transformed this one, they changed doctors between 2nd and 3rd because the actor didn't agree with the changes, and they just went like, oh, okay, so he just falls off the TARDIS already regenerated. There you go, and it's like, oh, okay. Ace, Fearless Rebel, for example. Ace being green, it's like, come on. You know what I mean? But it needs to be green because you don't have that much green. Like, you will see the green is like one of the less favorite colors here. But Davros and then Missy, I mean, go. But you know, it needs to be green because the deck is blue and green, right? So it can be red. The red is the other 2 decks. So that's the kind of problems that they run into, right? Like they try to make it thematically so that players or fans will buy like the deck that they want the most. Like, oh, I want the 10th, 9th, 11th, and 10th Doctors. I want the 12 and 13. I want all the villains, or I want the Legacy Doctor, like, right? Like old Who or classic Who versus new Who. Sol Ring, amazing. Return the Past. Leela, Sivatem Warrior. Chaos Warp. I haven't got to this yet, I think. There's a Confluence. Skycloud Expanse with the TARDIS in there. Like, come on. Vashta Nerada. Oh man, what a great episode. Hey, who turned out the lights? Hey, who turned out the lights? Hey, who turned out the lights? Temple of Enlightenment. Nice. Fortified Village. Nice. The 5th Doctor. Actually, I said the 6th Doctor. It's the 5th Doctor, the one that is the the parent of the... Oh, fuck. I was here sitting like, oh, yeah, I'm the new Doctor Who fan. Like, wait, did they actually get the Doctor wrong? Which one did I say that was the parent? I said it with the 6th, didn't I? Man, I'm such a dumbass. Yeah, I was thinking about the 5th. Sorry. The moment I saw his face, I was like, oh, fuck, is the 5th one the one that I'm meaning? And likely you already corrected me in the comments, like, no, actually, it's the 5th. It's like, yep, sorry, it is the 5th. Oops. The 11th Doctor with a Fez. Fez is cool, right? The 11th Doctor, I have to say that at the beginning, I wasn't feeling him. And then I was like, okay, it makes sense. The way that each Doctor kind of focuses on a different thing is what I think is resonating with me more. Like, yes, you can tell technically the same person, but it's like different angles of the same person, like different personalities. Yes. There you go, the 5th Doctor. This is the man I was talking about. Like the 9th Doctor is this traumatized PTSD Doctor. And he's kind of ruthless, and, you know, and he's softened by Rose and all that. And yes, we have these circumstances with the actor. And that's why it was cut short, and, you know, it was sad, actually, because I like the 9th Doctor a lot. So the Sum of Drums, cool. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But the 10th Doctor, everyone loves him and all that, and Madame Vastra again, cool. And the 10th Doctor is more about this melancholy, this weight on his shoulders of like, he loses everything. He lost everything. He keeps losing everything. He loses one companion, the other companion, then the other companion. Like, I'm gonna say names just in case you don't want to spoil yourself, in case you also want to jump into Doctor Who. But like, he just keeps losing stuff, right? And it gets to a point where he's like, you know what? And then when he flips the switch and becomes, you know, the Time Lord victorious, that's actually scary. And the writing there is just masterful, because you can't believe that transformation. You can't believe that moment and be like, oh, okay. Like a person so traumatized by Lost, right? And also the 10th Doctor is it's in love with himself, right? Oh, the 12th, look at that. Like, you know, is an ego trip, as the 11th says. Like, he's very egotistical. That's why he doesn't want to go. That's why he had 2 semi-regenerations before actually going and like letting it go. And all the problems that he had at the end was because he didn't want to go to the end of his journey, because he didn't want to go. So it's like, you can call him selfish, or you can just say that he was traumatized and he didn't want to lose anything else because he just lost everything. And that you know, inertia to try to not lose anything else was in the end is what causes him to lose everything again. And then the 11th comes in, and the 11th is kind of right, you know, off the bat, very different. And you're like, is it the same person or what? Like, you know, like, but it makes sense. It is the same person to a degree. Like, he's younger, he's rasher, and it's full of himself to a degree. Like, I am the Doctor, I am talking, like, listen to me. In that first episode, that first arc, when he goes to the Atraxi and goes and says like, look into your database and see who's been protecting this place. And he's like, and the Atraxi just goes like, oh, okay, and like goes away. And that whole arc with the Pandorica is like, the whole arc of the 11th is like, the 11th is too big, like the Doctor is too big, and he is in this arc of like loss and stuff. If you consider that he's the same person, see, I don't want to go. If we consider that he's the same person, he's overcompensating, he's bouncing back, he's like this character that is like, nope, I am not going to like, I will grab these by the balls, right? Like, I am the Doctor. And then the whole arc in the middle is about, maybe the Doctor needs to chill out the fuck a little bit, because you are too big for your own good. People see you as what you are not supposed to be. Doctor means different things in different places. You need to be wary of your own footprint, right? And I just think that is great. Like, that is actually a great progression of character. And then with the 12th, like, I kind of spoiled this to myself, but like the whole fact about why he picks that face again, right? Because that's a face that appears with the 10th Doctor and is the same actor, right? And like the justification for that is like, oh man, right? Like, that's good writing there. Like that tag team between Stephen Moffat, I think it's called, Steve Moffat, and Russell T Davies, you know, that between one and the other, and keeping that consistency. And I just have to say, like, sorry, this is supposed to be a Magic the Gathering video, and I'm just talking about Doctor Who. But I guess, I mean, you saw what the title said, it's about Doctor Who, so come on. Like, it's also a review of Doctor Who seasons, from the 9th Doctor to the 11th. I think that the whole journey, I think, is great. And one thing that I am dying to know, I don't know if they say it anywhere in an interview or something, is, did Steve Moffat and Moffat, I don't know how it's pronounced, sorry bro, and Russell T Davies, did you plan the whole River Song thing since the beginning, since like the 10th, right, and the library? Was it actually planned all the way long, or like it was like, oh well, we use this character, maybe we can use it in the future? And yes, you can come to me and say like, well, it was actually planned, like creators do all the time. And I can be like, well, don't shit me. Like, let's be honest. Like, the daughter of the Doctor is only alive because you tend to do that all the time, and that's actually the reasoning why she's alive, is that you introduce good characters and then you kill them, which is actually what happens in the library as well. So, but then the whole inverse, time streams thing and the whole history between the two is great. If I had to criticize something, I will criticize in the break in the middle of the season, the middle season for the 11th Doctor, the Let's Kill Hitler episode. Whipping Angel, love it. The thing that I will change, talking about the devil, here she is, River Song in the flesh. Dr. River Song, meet in reverse. You draw cards from the bottom rather than top. This is amazing. Spoilers. And what I think that I would like to... It's a very tragic romance. It's a very tragic relationship. I loved the way it was built. The one thing that I was like, this could be better, was the whole Whipping Angel. Nice. The whole like Mel thing, because she appears out of the blue in that episode, and then it's like, oh, because it's this, and things kind of make sense then, more or less, kind of. But Strax. But Riverstone again, nice. But you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, it doesn't Face of Bo, which is actually another character. This is great. I think that the wedding ring, I think that it's kind of the Autons from the first episode. I think it's kind of a meh thing, that they introduced the Mel thing so rushly. Like, you planned everything, or technically you planned everything. Donna. Oh my god, Donna. And then the 12, nice. And then you go like, oh, well, here's Mel, and she was always there. She was always with us. It's like, was she? Like, come on. Like, if you're planting everything this masterfully, just plant Mel a little earlier. I can tell that you kind of only thought about that later, and that's why she appears only later. But it's like, they never mentioned their best friend, and suddenly it's like, oh yeah, she was always there. It's like, meh. Feels a little bit cheap. And is a black spot in what otherwise would have been a masterful 11 out of 10 handling of those characters, and like that reverse continuity between River and the Doctor, right? So, but besides that, I mean, love this shit. So keep it coming. I'm kind of scared because some people, I've seen some comments about the 12th Doctor and that era, so I'm kind of scared there a little bit. And I've seen some about the 13th, and I've seen some comments about the Christmas specials for the 14th and the 15th, and the season of the 15th hasn't started at the time of recording this. So I don't know, but I've seen a lot of critiques about the time child or something. It's something that happens with the 13th Doctor that is, apparently everyone hates that shit, and I'm kind of scared. It's like, oh man, because a lot of people are saying that because of that they lost interest in Doctor Who, and I'm like, oh come on, I just joined, guys, don't kill it. So yeah, I don't know, but overall, I'm a fan, and it's kind of cool. And let's see the best looking cards for each color, even though most of them are multicolor like happened last time. I think it's going to be Farewell in this, like warped, time warped style. I think that card just says a lot. So, you know what? It's going to be Wilfred. Wilfred deserves it, man. What a legend. Now, you see how this changes with time? Like, first time I look at this card, it's like, oh, this is pretty. So now it's like, oh, look at the meaning. Remember this thing, man? Remember this thing, guys? Oh, this is great. Right, let's go with Cyber Conversion. Very good card, and also very nice looking. So, for black, not that much. This one is technically the best looking one, But I'm going with Vashta Nerada because, hey, who turned off the lights? It's like Doctor Who. So for red, there's actually quite a lot of red because of the impulsivity of the Doctor. But it's going to be Into the Time Vortex with this crazy wobbly effect, which is amazing. And for green, not that much for green actually. Kind of nothing for green, but I'm going with Farseek. Why not? Look at this. It's cool. So it's a phrase from the 13th Doctor, so that maybe that doesn't resonate with me, but that's why it's there. Now for colorless, it's can be anything. And I'm going with the TARDIS, because it's the TARDIS, my friend. So you always respect the TARDIS. Now for the special lands, this is anyone's game, to be honest. Like, look at this. So many special lands. Sunken Hollow. Well, that's pretty. Skycloud Expanse. Let's see if I have like a better version of Skycloud. Ah, there you go. This thing is beautiful. I think I already picked this one the last time, but it's great. Now for the basic lands, these things are also cool. Just a TARDIS sitting in multiple places. If this is the Bad Wolf Bay, then we're picking this one, my friends. I think I already picked that one when I didn't know what it was, so you can imagine now. And now for multicolor, this is where the crazy goes. So I have more context about stuff now. So this is going to be worse, actually, because it's going to make my life a lot more difficult. I think Sally Sparrow, man, what a great episode. And yes, I know, apparently it's a good episode that you can use to bait anyone into Doctor Who. And all the fans are like, oh, it's actually not that good, because the more times you look at it, they actually realize it's kind of shit, because and she should have looked at herself, like the angels should like look at themselves in the reflection of the windows. And it's like, I get it, okay? I get it. But it's a cool episode nonetheless. Get out. You know what? I was going with Madame Vastra, but you know what? The first Doctor deserves our love and respect. And because of that, that is the video, my friends. So let me know down below what you think. What do you think about my newfound love for Doctor Who? And what do you think about my takes? Do you think I interpreted the Doctors right, 9, 10, and 11? I don't know. What do you think about the 13? Should I be scared? What do you think about the pools? What do you think about the cards? If you're a Magic fan, have you tried to look into Doctor Who? Because some of these cards are kind of powerful, and you know about that. You put them in your commander decks for sure. But are you curious about Doctor Who? And if you're a Doctor Who fan, are you curious about Magic the Gathering? I don't know. Let me know down below. And as usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all those cool things that the cool kids do. And I will see you next time on PAX and Recreation. Bye.